Inquiring Minds. My name is Matt.
I'm Joey.
I'm Kristen.
And we are introverted but willing to discuss Tori Amos. Tonight, we are introverted but willing to discuss questions that you've asked us. Guys, are you excited to answer this mailbag full of letters?
I am, especially because I haven't seen any of them. I have not been.
Oh, yeah.
Matthew has sort of been in charge of collecting them, so I've not seen a one.
I could be making them up.
That's true.
I feel as important as Tori feels when she gets her letters delivered to her in the back, and then she just rips through them. Is that what you guys feel like?
We'll see. We'll see how I feel when I start hearing the questions, I guess.
Right. Okay.
I think I feel a little bit of nervous anticipation for how you two are going to answer these questions since I've seen them. So I want to say I got this idea from watching the Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin podcast. It seemed like they were having so much fun answering questions, and I thought, why shouldn't we do that?
I love it.
The same thing as Lisa and Harry.
Unexpected inspiration.
Totally. I didn't even
go
mean
for
like
it.
it was just on in the background, and all of a sudden I heard it, and I've been hooked on that podcast ever since. Who would have thought?
Yeah, that's good to know. I'm always looking for new recommendations.
Yeah, I'm sort of an unapologetic Lisa Rinna stan, so let's go.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. We'll at Lisa Rinna for this one. Thank you for the inspiration.
Can I just ask you guys really quick? Did you both watch that Netflix documentary, Unknown Caller, Unknown Number, about the teenage couple that were getting all those awful texts? Yeah. And of course, spoiler alert, it turns out to be her mother.
Yeah.
But did you know that prior to this, like last year, Lifetime did a film version of it and Lisa Rinna played the mother? Did you know this?
Shut
No.
up.
Yeah. How crazy
It's like out
is that?
online right now. Like we can go watch it.
It was on Lifetime like a year ago. I'm sure we can stream it somewhere.
Shut up.
Like, what a crazy... Yeah,
Why
I guess it
did
flew
Lisa
under the
take
radar.
on that role? Like, because I saw...
What a great idea.
I mean,
Look, I'm not
I'm
going to
sure
tear up that woman's
I'm sure she's really good in it.
looks, but... Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, it's...
She just can't
look
she
like
can't
her.
she can't well, I mean, she can't disappear into a role is what we're saying, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's still, like, stone cold hot bitch is what she is.
I think she has glasses and like long hair in it. I think
A wig?
that's the disguise. Anyway, I just had to get
A
that out
cheap
there.
wig? Okay, great.
Maybe
we'll
we
link
should
it
give
in the
like,
show
give each other
notes.
some homework and we should watch it. And
I'm on
What
it
else
today.
have you guys been watching? Since we're talking about things that we're watching, let's give some insight into what we've had on our TVs.
oh,
I can tell you one thing that I've been really sort of looking at lately since the Emmys. I had no interest in this show, but Somebody Somewhere on HBO.
yeah,
Jeff Hiller just won the Emmy for
that was
supporting
really
actor.
exciting.
It was a great moment. It was totally a surprise, and he is so good on the show, so funny, and so just. It's like a great, funny, dramatic performance.
It was amazing to see all the gays in his category like freaking out, so excited for him. Bridget Everett is one of my favorite people on the planet, and years ago, like when she was still performing in really small spaces, she was performing at in Austin while Alex and I were there visiting Kristen and the family. She was playing like some little tiny hole in the wall during the Austin Comedy Festival. Was that what it was?
Cool.
Moon Tower, I think.
And I like shot her a message on Facebook and was like, I don't have tickets to this. I love you. I've seen you a bunch of times. And she put us on the list, remember? And we got on a special list and we had front row, which is terrifying to be in the front row of the Bridget Everett show.
Was not good for me. She grabbed my breasts, remember?
What did she call your breast? She was doing the titty song.
Oh
What did she
God.
call your breast?
It was
She gives
itty
them
bitty
names.
something.
Itty
my
bitty
God.
something. Yeah.
It was at the time I wasn't toting these two children tatas.
Right.
I felt like it was flattering.
It was flattering for her to,
She grabbed him.
Oh, I believe
Wow.
it. Yeah. No, she
I'm
goes for
sorry
it.
to bring up something triggering with this television recommendation. I didn't realize there was an entire history of sexual harassment by the star of this show to my friend.
I think
I love her so much.
Yeah,
I've seen her many
Kristen
times
feels quite
since.
flattered. Yeah,
she's so
she's
talented.
incredible. She
Yeah.
is.
Have you seen the show though? The show on HBO?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's really, really beautiful.
It's
I
like
have
the
not
one where
watched the most
she-
recent season though. I saw the first two
that's-
seasons.
I watched the first season. It's like with the little special ed friends, right? And she works. Is that what it is? No.
No, you're thinking about the Amazon pilot that she had, where she worked with Down syndrome.
It's not the same?
People. No, it's a different show. It's on HBO.
Well, I'm gonna have to cut this off because I'm embarrassed.
No, it's okay.
Now I have to go Google it. Wait.
But that. Remember Amazon did
Why
this
did
thing
I
like
think
8 years
it was
ago
the same?
where they had pilots. They had a pilot with the Glenn Close show.
Yeah.
Based on the George Saunders story where she dies and she comes back as like a mean zombie grandma. So yeah, that was the thing that people had to vote on whether or not. So that was the one that you are thinking about.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen that.
The one on HBO is different. Yeah, you would love it. Watch it.
Great.
I just finished watching this season of Alien Earth.
Oh, okay.
Which I liked. I think it got progressively maybe a little sillier by the end, but I think it's fun. I'm sort of unapologetically into the Alien franchise, except for like the Alien versus Predator stuff. And I thought it was pretty crafty. Noah Hawley, who did the Fargo TV series and
yeah, I love Fargo.
So he's really talented. And yeah, it's just a very interesting, quirky, like spin-off of the Alien universe. We just started Drag Race UK, the new season.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
UK is my favorite always. It's always been my favorite. I think it's like if I only had to choose one, I would always just watch the UK seasons of Drag Race.
I felt like it was a little bit budget this episode. I felt like it was a little bit like overcrowded and a little bit of like maybe some queens dealing with a tight budget.
No.
Yes. Well, I think in some ways it harkens back to the earlier seasons,
early days,
where these queens weren't like Project Runway contestants and didn't come with thousands of dollars worth of clothing. They just were sort of doing their thing. And occasionally somebody shows up and they are that kind of old school queen and maybe it stands out. But I don't know. I like the sort of scrappiness of the UK queens. I really They're just so funny too. And so we're watching that. And of course, British Bake Off, which I always love.
Of course.
Also has a new season on. Basically anything British, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Named
Kristen, what about you? Alien shows, murder shows, what are you looking at?
Well, always true crime, you know. I just rewatched the yogurt shop murder documentary. Upon the announcement of it being solved and the
I haven't
press
seen
conference.
it once. I haven't seen it
Scary.
at all. I should. It's good.
It was intense.
Yeah.
I think the documentary really unravels. I think the first episode and the second, like they're really tight. The third episode, not so much. And I also think like growing up in a place like Austin, everybody knows all the details. Like I was like, they didn't talk to these people. And why didn't they talk to the people who saw the men? And it's like, they didn't even touch on a whole bunch of stuff. I already knew about like the partial DNA sample, that DNA sample that they finally matched to that guy. They've had for 15 years and they knew it was a partial match and they wouldn't say who it was. It didn't go into any of that.
The documentary wasn't trying to solve anything, right? That wasn't the point of it.
No, it wasn't the point of it. I actually thought it was kind of interesting because it starts with talking to the director of the first a woman who tried to make a documentary. She like grew up in Austin, same time. Anyway, but I just thought like I never rewatch things and I was only half paying attention when I watched it the first time. So I rewatched that. And what else? Always 90 Day Fiance, but that's like I'm not current.
How could you be? Jesus.
How could
There's so
I
many
be?
episodes and rewatch specials and like behind the scenes and expanded episodes. It's crazy. How does anybody keep track?
I can't remember the names of shit and it makes me feel really ancient, but I'm watching this show about a guy who works in a national park and there's like a murderer on the loose and his child was murdered and now he's got this like young cop from the city out in the national park with him. It's actually really good.
Are they gay?
No.
I don't care then.
I know. Well, no, they can't be, and they're not. So it gives hetero. It really does.
One thing I do want to give a shout out to, I think it's only on for a few more weeks, so I don't know if anybody will be able to see it. But if you're in New York City before end of October, there is The Shed, which is a performance space by it's in Hudson Yards, and there is a immersive theater performance. Not really a performance. It's an immersive theater experience because there are no actors in it, called Viola's Room. And it is, you go into, I brought students to it a few weeks ago. You go into, and I got lost in it, so I felt really old and crazy. So you go in, it's like totally dark. You have to take your shoes and socks off because it's all carpeted for most of it. And you wear these big headphones, and Helena Bonham Carter narrates like a fairy tale to you. But it's supposed to be a 16-year-old
like
girl's. You go into a 16-year-old girl's bedroom in the mid-90s, and her walls are plastered in Tori Amos.
Was it my room?
It might as well be. Like 1996 everything, and you sit on like there's like sleeping bags on the floor, like you get in one and the lights go out and Helena Bonham Carter is like narrating to you, and then all of a sudden this like play tent that's in the corner lights up and Cornflake Girl starts blasting. And Helena Bonham Carter says, "You know what to do now." And you have to crawl through it while Cornflake Girl is blasting. And there's other 90s music that plays as well, but Cornflake Girl is so prominent in it, and it's really cool. And then you go through, and you're basically like, there's a very, very faint light bulbs, and you have to follow the light bulb. And I was trying to let my students go first, and I missed the light cue. So I then was standing in this like dark treehouse like circle, and I'm like, why are there no lights? And then I realized that I was alone.
No, it's so embarrassing.
And I had to like take my headphone off and be like, "Hi, somebody who works here. I don't know where I'm going." And like somebody had like pull a curtain with like a flashlight and like bring me back.
That's so embarrassing.
And then it turned out that the students realized I wasn't with them anymore and got really worried about me.
When they heard Cornflake Girl, they were like, "Where's the professor?"
He's gone.
But there was like, but it was probably all just a really, really tiny space. Like every time you moved, you were probably going like just the tiniest bit because it was so dark, and it was like fueled by like shadows and like very, very dim lights. But there was a lot of excellent 90s music, including Tori. I feel like there was another, maybe something besides Cornflake Girl as well, but I'm forgetting what it was now. But Tori's prominent in it, and I thought that it was very, very strong use of Tori.
When you said, "Oh, you know what to do," Maddie, did you think that he was going to say do the Cornflake Girl dance? Because that's what I
mean,
thought.
that's the only thing you can do.
Right,
that's
what
you should do.
No, you couldn't because you had to crawl.
And they wouldn't know, would they? Like, I was like, shit, is that insider info? Or
I mean, if I had designed
a Tori Amos themed escape room.
That's, I mean,
we could make money with that.
Fuck. Pop-ups on the road, you guys.
That's how we make our fortune.
I think we know what we're doing in 2026.
Oh my God.
Let's get an RV and design it to be like
Speaking of, dude, let's do these questions because I bet you one or two will be about a tour and we can talk about our...
Well, I would say about 50% of them are about the tour.
Great.
I'm sorry. One last thing.
Yeah.
Viola's Room. I kept accidentally sending emails and messages to students calling it Violet's Eyes.
Oh my God.
I'm like, sorry, typo, autocorrect. Crazy.
What a pusher.
That's like the liberal agenda. You can't do that.
I mean, it's just so obscure. Like nobody would have ever in 1,000 years.
Somebody call the president.
Figured out. Okay. All right. Sorry.
No, this is important.
Our listeners will appreciate that.
So again, tonight I'm unveiling these questions. They come from our Instagram at
Got it.
Introverted But Willing to Discuss on Instagram, where we've amassed a healthy following. Really cool.
Good job, Matthew. Matthew runs the social media. So if you ever get a dick pic, it's not from me.
That's a lie. Wow. Anyway, so the questions come from all kinds of people, and they're going to remain anonymous tonight. And we're going to do our best to answer as best we can. And I do want to put a caveat on this. We are not spokespeople for Tori Amos. We don't claim to have any sort of like insider anything for anything that's coming up. And we don't ask Tori these questions directly. So this is all purely speculative. This is all our, personal answers and our takes on some of these questions. So yeah, we'll go ahead and dig in because a lot of these are about the tour.
Okay.
So
great.
Here we go. What do we know so far about the next album and tour?
I don't know anything except there's an album and tour. I mean, well, do we talk about the theories?
The question's asking what we know.
I don't know anything.
Well, there is some fact that Matt Chamberlain posted a picture that was definitely from the studio. That Tori's Batgirl statue that's in her studio, Matt. Is that
and
what
her
it is?
blue? It's a very
in her
distinct teal wall. Yes.
Yeah.
Not that I zoom
had
in
a bunch
or anything.
of had a bunch of
adjacent
cords.
to the studio.
Okay, so the bunch of cords wrapped around it, and Matt Chamberlain was the one who posted it, so we can assume that he's playing on the record, and we know that other people have gone to Cornwall to work with her on it. So I think and there was a recent Martian AV Instagram post that had bottles of champagne opened. So I'm assuming they have finished something, whether it's mastering or not. And some other people have found some leaked tour dates for Europe in April.
Yes. So Paris definitely leaked. And I know that some people had tickets. They bought tickets. I know that there are other dates leaked on, the Last FM source. Who knows if those are true? It definitely could be. I think it could be just simply based on our last tour dates. It lines up with what she's done historically. And plus, gosh, how do I say it? Like the rumors are like you said to John Philip Chanel, who knows if this episode will be out before or after his. We'll see.
Yeah.
You kind of told him, oh, we know when we can feel it in the air when a Tori album is brewing, which is this. So yeah. Tour an album.
Yeah, that's all we really know. It's happening. That's all we know. And soon, I think.
No other details, no other tidbits, no themes, no anything insider. No. We know everything that everyone that listens knows. So that brings me to the next question. Are you guys losing your minds waiting for the new album and tour info like I am?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Always.
I stayed up until 3 a.m. last night, trying
Why?
to sleuth. I like to sleuth.
On a work night? Your Sunday scaries? Are you sleuthing?
Yeah. Look.
And where are you sleuthing? Don't say too much.
I'm going first. Number one, I had to re-download Facebook because of this tour leak situation and the date leaking and then the album, whatever the person on Reddit said. ADP part 2. I was like, shit, now I'm going to have to download because I'm going to start doing research. I need to look into these people. I have to.
Sorry to that man who wrote that if you watch, but please, come on.
I'm not saying, I don't know if it's true or false. I don't know anything. I'm just saying I had to start doing my research. I'm just trying to find out if you're a credible source. And I don't know. I mean, but
research.
TLDR, I didn't find out a single thing last night, but I did stay up till 3 a.m. And all I wanted to do was text Matt and be like, hi. But I knew if I texted you at 3 a.m., you would see it was 1 a.m. and you'd be like, why the fuck are you texting me at 3 a.m.? You know there's no news.
Basically, yeah.
I'm just waiting patiently.
Okay, fine. I can do that.
Because, okay, so we can give a little speculation maybe here, but
okay.
I feel like we're going to get some kind of official announcement soon. I mean, like you mentioned, Martian just had this celebratory post that might indicate something was finished, like a big project. It was a big celebration. So I would say I'm eagerly anticipating something this month, I would say, some kind of news. I don't know if it's an announcement, a tour announcement, an album announcement. I don't know. But I think we'll get something if I were a betting man.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's the end of September. I mean, look, once the dates, it always happens. There's always a show or two that leak early and you can kind of start. It's
usually true. Yeah.
And it's usually true. And I don't believe that anybody who bought a ticket to this Paris show has been refunded or contacted yet, indicating it is probably accurate.
And usually somebody...
Did you get tickets for that show?
No comment. That's what I was doing. I was searching for tickets to that show last night.
Well, I think you also wanted to be that person.
I didn't find any.
I think you also want to be that person who locates some random meta data that gives a track listing, because that always happens too. And everybody's always like, this is fake. And then it turns out to be exactly true. This has been happening for many years now, where people are like, American Doll Posse, that sounds dumb. And then it's like, that's the track listing.
I immediately, as soon as I heard it, I was like, ooh, I was intrigued immediately. It's so funny, the reactions.
I know.
I was like, okay.
It's been happening for a while where people will be like, these song titles don't sound real. And they usually are whatever somebody first finds is often the truth. So
like, how could you know? Yeah. I don't think I could tell a fake Tori title from a real. I'm not good at that game.
Well, remember Infamous, what was it, Oranges and See It Crying? Was that the one that really got people? Was it the Beekeeper era where people were like, there were a lot of fake track listings about the Beekeeper era? That was the one. That was the big one.
I remember people fighting over Power of Orange Knickers.
Well, right, and it seemed crazy because somebody had made up Oranges and See It Crying.
Yes.
And then we had the Power of Orange Knickers, and I think that was just ultimately a funny coincidence. But there was a lot of debate.
So to answer your question, yes, we're all excited.
Very excited.
I'm so ready.
Losing sleep over it, clearly.
I'm legitimately losing sleep.
Yeah. I also, very quickly, for some reason, think, though it hasn't been like this historically, I feel like we're going to get music quite a bit in advance of her starting to tour. I think that happened just out of like necessity with the last tour because of COVID.
That it was tighter? Oh, you mean that it was longer?
That the album was out and it took a few months after the album for her to actually start touring?
Yes.
I think my guess is that she will, I don't know why, but I think that she may have liked having more of a lag in between those things. It gave her more time to rest, more time to prep. And I think that having more space between like album, tour, space again, another tour, I think that it probably was the right pace for her now at this part of her life. So I think it's going to happen that way. I think we might get news of an album soon, maybe a record by the end of the year or January, and then a tour that starts in the spring. That's my feeling. Like she'll take more space in between those. That's just my gut.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe like now that ticket sales are so less tied to like the radio or something, I wonder if it kind of doesn't matter how much time you take now, or at least like for a more established artist, you know?
And also with an artist like Tori, who's not probably necessarily like selling albums, right? Like you don't have to.
She's making her money on tour. Yeah,
you don't. And you don't have to tour off of an album. You know, people are going to go see Tori because she's Tori.
Right.
Most of them probably, let's be real, they're probably not going to be like, oh, I have the album and now I immediately need to go and see the shows.
Right.
That's just not how it works anymore.
Right. Correct.
I mean, I think it makes for more interesting conversations and experience for us because we got to know the songs better. Like I felt, that the songs weren't new. I mean, not that we've never met a new Tori song. We got them on lock as soon as we get them, but
right.
I liked it. I liked it. You know what I liked was 2 tours back to back, 1 year apart.
I didn't hate that.
They were like kind of like legs of the same tour technically, but like there was enough of a gap between them that it was
I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was into it too.
Mind. It was just like popping in and out every few months to see our favorite redhead.
Well, and by spacing it out the way she did basically over 2 years, she ended up doing, what was it, like 60, 70 shows? So more shows than I think she would have done if she was touring right after the album came out. I think it would have been there would have been fewer shows accumulated, I think, if she had done it right after. That's my sense. Next question, Matthew.
Next question. Opening song for the next tour will be ... This person chooses Suede.
Is it you? Did you choose Suede?
No.
I think Suede could set a mood, but you know what? And I will dox myself now accidentally on Reddit. I said that I was thinking that Scarlet's Walk would be a really good opener. That felt very apropos to this world we're in.
Well, we don't know anything about the themes of the new record. I think we're all sort of like hoping there's some sort of like, political
something,
some sort of like rabble rousing, some sort of anger, some sort of something to meet the moment. And
something gnarly,
Yeah.
And if that's the way she's going to go, that's going to affect what the song opening the show will be. I started thinking, what if it's something like Knocking from Tori and the Muses?
Ooh.
That's kind of like a nice song to walk out to every night and then sort of like summon the muses.
Building a Mountain would be a really good intro.
Ooh, that'd be a really good first song. Building a Mountain with just a sound?
Yeah.
Matthew.
That's us. That's what we're doing.
It's
a follow on her path vibe.
Doesn't feel like an opening song to me.
Okay.
What do I know? I think so with Knocking.
Suede,
I took Knocking out because I don't think she would do an opening song on just a keyboard. I think it would be the piano with the opening song. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but she could just switch it to the piano. It's not like she can't just play what she played on that.
Joey, do you have a guess? Have you thought about it?
Well, my hunch is that it'll be a new song from the new record. But if it's not, then I am going to put money on us finally getting Bang as an opener. It's quite fitting. Quite fitting right now. And I think it's something that she could actually really do really well in a really searing way with her current range. I think that's sort of like deep.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's something about the current, like, iteration of her voice that would really, really knock Bang out of the park.
I would love that.
Yeah. I think it's time. That's my thought.
Okay. Kristen, you're saying Suede?
No, that was what the reader said.
Okay, what do you say? God damn,
what
do you say?
Okay, first of all,
okay.
My edibles hit, but I know that I'm right here. Because I said Scarlet's Walk. I remember saying that.
Right.
All right, okay.
What did you say? You said Knocking.
I said Knocking. I think it's going to be like...
Okay.
Maybe Knocking and then some like very well-known song following it. Like summoning a muse of some specific type every night.
Ooh.
I just think that Tori...
Okay.
See, I
see what you're doing.
I do like that when you say that. But I also think that Tori is too into walking out to a jam. Or
yeah,
like
Bob.
Bombastic thing. I would be surprised to see her come out to something as tranquil as that. That's all.
Ooh, that's a good point. See,
I feel like Fairy Tale was about as tranquil as she could ever get for an opener.
Yeah. That's
my
right.
feeling.
So the answer to this question is we don't know.
We don't know anything.
Well, I think it was what do you hope for? I don't think it was do you know? What do you hope for? Actually, I don't know what I hope for.
My final word.
Sneeze.
That would be a great opener.
I know.
Great opener. I'm surprised it never has been, honestly.
I know. Because she hates it. See the last episode.
She does not hate it.
See the last episode where I complain about how she doesn't play it enough.
All right. Next question. How much do you think drug use has played a role in Tori's creative process?
A lot. I would say not much in the recent past, but I would say in her first decade or so, for sure. I think she was really on a journey, you know, and I think she's been very open about it. I think that we can sort of just look to her own documentation and her own interviews and her own narratives that she's given us. I think she's been very, very open about it. And I think that, I think she's told us. I honestly think once certainly before she became a mother, but once she gave herself over to parenthood, I think that she probably saw her relationship to her body very differently and didn't want to abuse it in the ways that are sort of necessary when you're exploring with drugs, right? When you're experimenting. I think that she wanted to be a really fertile, like healthy soil for her child to grow and for her own...
That's so sweet.
For her own well-being, you know? I think
like you're talking
meant
about
a lot
yourself.
To her.
It seems like it.
I can't carry a baby, though.
But I like it. The fertile ground to grow.
Yeah, but I think that's true, right? And I think that it then lent itself to her becoming more motherly in her music, you know? More sort of, corn goddess or whatever it was, corn mother that she wrote about in Piece by Piece. What do you think, Matt and Kristen? What's your view on her and the drugs?
I wouldn't even really know what to say to this. I mean, other than Joey, what you said, there are sort of like instances in print, in interviews where she talks about certain things. And of course, we know Boys for Pele was inspired by a hallucinogenic journey with a shaman.
Right.
I am going to go out on a limb and say drug use probably had very little to do with her creative process. I mean, I just don't see it. I don't know. I just knowing like how much Tori works and like her work ethic and her touring ethic and, you know, Tori being sort of like at the head of the, you know, steering the ship and being responsible for a lot of people's livelihoods and, you know, also like you mentioned, being a parent. I see it as not being something that plays a huge role in the whole thing. I just don't see it.
But I think early on, I just don't think a sober person wrote and recorded Boys for Pele, you know? I just don't. And I think that and that's not a knock on it, it's genius. I think she found a way. I think that Tori's been battling like so many structures in her life since she's a little girl did you know her father was a preacher?
Mm-mm.
And the church and sort of the family having to move from parish to parish and her sort of always being under the watchful eye of all these people and then going to Peabody. And I think just, you know, even when she was playing the clubs, you know, for the long time, her father was with her, you know, because she was underage. And I just think that she had so many boundaries for herself that she wanted to cross. And I think that it helped her, you know, also she's born in the 60s, right? A child of the 70s and the 80s in LA, you know, during the 80s making Why Can't Tori Read? Like, I think that her work ethic is separate of, but maybe also inspired her desire to learn more about herself inside and out. And I think that for a lot of people, drugs were a way to sort of see what you can handle, push yourself in certain directions. I would certainly say that it's only like at this point a tiny part of her life and her career in which she was, you know, because she's never dependent on them. But I think seeing what they had to offer her, you know, she strikes me as somebody very in control. Like, I think that she, you know, was it Madonna who said she never did drugs because she didn't like to feel like she was not in control, right?
She just said that recently, I think.
She just said it again. Yeah. She has said that a bunch of times over the years, Madonna. Like, that's why she, you know, was mostly always very sober in her life.
I think in order to be at the level of either a Madonna or a Tori Amos or any person that's in the public eye, you got to be really careful because one slip and that's all gone. You know, that's the reality of it.
Totally.
And look at Madonna's contemporaries. I was just watching that long ass podcast about health and wellness with Madonna that she's on today. Her first podcast
the Jay
ever.
Shetty one.
Yeah, the Jay Shetty one. And you know, she does mention, you know, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Prince. They're all gone, and that's all drugs. And I do think that there's a certain, probably a certain level of fear when you're in that world, that if you touch something like that, that you're just going to end up like your contemporaries who are no longer with us. And, you know, Tori's contemporaries have thankfully mostly stuck around. I think by the time Tori sort of rose to popularity, the hardcore drug culture from like the grunge era, the heroin, those like really hardcore addictive drugs, those were a little bit, I hate to say it this way, but out of vogue. Yeah. So, you know, when Tori was sort of really on the rise and at the height of her powers, it was more about raves and ecstasy and drugs to make you feel good, not to, you know, take your life. So
sure. Yeah. And I just want to say that I think that when I think of Tori Amos, maybe not so much anymore, but one of the things that I think about with her, she just feels like an impish little child who wants to touch the hot stove, who just wants to touch it briefly. And that's what I say. I think that's why she was able to go with the shaman. That's why she has experimented. I think she just she has a desire in her life creatively and just in terms of knowledge to like touch the hot stove just to see what it feels like and to be able to like make a decision for herself whether this hurts or this, you know what I'm saying? Like she just, that's my feeling about her maybe sort of again, not currently, not in the same way, but I think those earlier years, those, first few albums, they definitely feel like she was searching and also, but still very much in control. I think that's part of it. I think, and also she had the structure and limitations of the music label, which I think she was also pushing against, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she was just going for the unorthodox, going down the unorthodox road all the time. Like she was just going off into her own direction. And I don't think it's all about, like, drugs weren't the only way, right? But I think they played a part. That's just my sentiment.
I feel like I hear apple bottom jeans playing in the background. Do y'all?
It might be from the streets.
So we now know that drugs play a heavy part in Kristen Key's creative process.
I mean, there's definitely music in Washington Square Park downstairs from where I live.
Okay.
So it could be that. Sorry.
It's definitely happening, and it's definitely New York City. Okay. I guess my first question in that vein would be, like, what are drugs? Like, are we talking like a hardcore journey? Or are we just talking a little edible or so? Because, like,
I'm going to assume she did a lot of mushrooms.
I consider that in the edible range. I don't consider that in the journey range. Yeah, like, your weekend party drug. I don't think she goes on a journey every time. But I like what you said about pushing back, Joey. Like, I do think that she likes to experiment, and so I'm sure that has come up a few times. I think I always get my hackles up at that type of question because I don't think people mean to say it, but to me, the subtext is like, you can't be creative without it. And I don't think that most people mean that, but that's kind of
what... Is there a subtext that her music, like, changed when she stopped doing drugs, right?
That's always why I'm like, ooh, is it going there? Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so I actually don't really think that much about it either way, especially because I prefer to do most things with an edible. So, if she does, good for her. And mushrooms are fun too.
I also think once she was in her mid-30s, she became very, like, clear that good wine and champagne were her choice of...
Sure.
Like,
yes.
Losing herself a little bit. Like, she was more interested in, like...
Yeah.
She refined her taste a bit, and she still had vices, but they were different now, I think.
That makes sense. I don't know how she can drink without getting a headache. I can't anymore. I get an instant headache.
It was my birthday the other week, and I had 4 drinks, and I didn't have a hangover, but I literally couldn't sleep. Like, drinking gives me insomnia.
Does it make your heart race too? It makes my heart race.
It doesn't make my heart race, but it just, like, keeps me awake. I just feel like shit. And, like, I was like, man,
I haven't had a drink in almost 5 years.
I was going to say.
Wow.
And I don't ever think I can have another one. The last drink I had was with Kristen in Austin, Texas.
And it was that margarita. Was it? We didn't even like it. We didn't even drink it, did we?
No, it was good. It was really tasty, and it had a tamarind straw, and it was perfect. The food was great. The queso was great. It was all perfect, and we were like, let's have a margarita. Let's be naughty.
Yeah.
And one margarita gave me a hangover for 2 days.
Dude.
Wow.
I definitely have had alcohol since then myself. Yes, I have. But I've been having to drink that, like, ridiculous, like, clear French wine without all the additives and shit. Otherwise I get a headache, and it's like, I'm not going to spend $45 on a bottle of wine. I'm sorry.
I know.
Just when I got that medical marijuana card in Texas.
Oh my God. You feel like you can talk about it with impunity right now, don't you?
I can talk about it. I can drive around with it. I'm no more riding dirty. It's riding legal, baby.
So I guess we've answered the direct question.
Yeah. On to the next question.
This next one. Least favorite album or eras, and how you've navigated a fluctuating relationship to Tori and fandom.
Ooh,
that is a very really good question.
Did you plant that one yourself? Because that's really good.
No, I truly I planted none of these.
Can you repeat the second part of the question, Matthew?
Least favorite albums or eras, and how you've navigated a fluctuating relationship to Tori and Fandom.
That's a good question.
So I'm going to jump in because I feel like my fandom doesn't really fluctuate. My fandom pretty much has stayed the same for a really long time. My, like, do I have certain expectations of what an album or era should be? Of course. Do I have things that I want that I don't get? Of course. I feel like when you're committed to, like, really taking a body of an artist's work seriously, like, I feel like you have to just take the good with the bad, and I don't think that there's much, like, outright bad stuff that Tori makes, and even the stuff that I don't personally, like, love or listen to every day, and for me, that's going to probably be Beekeeper era stuff. That's not always my go-to. It's probably my least listened to album. Doesn't mean I don't like it. Doesn't mean that I hate it or have some problem with it. It just doesn't speak to me. When it came out, a lot of the times for me, if an album doesn't sort of like speak to me in the moment that I'm in, it takes me a little longer to get into it. For Beekeeper, there's a lot there that I just didn't relate to and I still can't really relate to. I don't know what that is. I can't really explain it. But for me, that's my least listened to album, at least.
Mm-hmm.
How about you guys?
Kristen? Oh, I thought you you did freeze a little bit. Okay.
No, I didn't.
I thought you froze and then your eyes moved.
I didn't freeze. It was me the whole time.
Wow.
Okay, so least favorite. It's funny. It's like kind of each era has its like highs and lows for me, right? Like I think in some days or some streaks or months or years or whatever, that'll kind of stay the same. And there are other times where like you identify with an album more than you did at the time, which is always really cool. I mean, The Beekeeper reminds me of just like not a great point of my life. Like I just wasn't really happy then. It was a tough time. When we did the podcast and I started listening to it more again, I found a lot that I remember really liking and it giving me that kind of fluttery feeling. And so I think I would have said that before, but maybe right now it's like abnormally attracted to sin or something. I don't know. Like, but the fall vibes are out. I feel like I'm ready for a little AATS, which I associate with the fall personally.
And you bring up a good point. That is like having listened to all of these albums so much in the last year or so since we've been doing this podcast, it really changes your opinion of them. So I could say today, like, oh yeah, Beekeeper is my least favorite right now, but who knows? We may do some podcast project where we're listening to songs from The Beekeeper and I change my mind. It's very possible. I've done a lot of 180s on a lot of stuff in the past year or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like all the songs that I didn't really connect with before that I connect with. That is like finding a whole, like a lost album. That is very cool. I have been over and over and over watching the NPR orchestra show, as you guys know. And I was just thinking the other night about how much I love winter now, and especially with the orchestra. So like I was going back through Gold Dust and I was listening to all that. And that's something that I never listened to. And I was like, dude, this feels so exciting. It's like I'm hearing it for the first time again. So that was an addendum to the question.
No, that was good. So I will admit I have with Tori very severe recency bias. So I usually, when a new record comes out, I really find myself like immersing myself in it and listening to it a lot. And it doesn't necessarily become like an automatic favorite or anything, but it's just, I feel like I know her catalog so intimately. Like if you took away my CDs and my ability to stream it, I could close my eyes and I could hear the records in my head. Like that's how familiar I think we are with them. So I don't necessarily think about like, oh, I like this less or this more. It's kind of like, it's all stored in my mind. I don't have to sort of like, they don't compete in my head because I think about it this way. It's like a new record comes out. I want to really know it and I want to put it in that sort of mental catalog the way I have the other records. And then when a tour follows it, then the tour like gives me what I need in terms of like calling back older material. And so for me, it's really like a recency bias thing. That said, if I had to choose, not least favorite era, because I love the tour so much, but I think of all the records, though there are like a handful of songs on there that I love and listen to a lot and like consider among my very favorite, I probably don't listen to Night of Hunters as much as I do the other records. It's a different kind of album. To me, it's like kind of a hybrid cover album. It's love what it does, and especially fall, the colder months of the fall, like into the winter, definitely feel that. But I think as a record, for me, it kind of feels like it's not in the same universe as like a Midwinter Graces, because their Night of Hunters I think is much stronger, but it still has that sort of like thing where she both is borrowing from an existing thing and then adding something new to it. So I don't know. It's hard to say, because it certainly doesn't rank last if I were to rank them right now, I don't think, but I just don't revisit it as an entire record in my mind or in reality as much as I do other albums. But I love the tour so much. The tour was a total revelation.
That album is so, like, that album I feel like is challenging in that it's like way smarter than me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that album is like rigorous and intellectual and precise and just very just sort of like everything is perfect, right? And for me, I love that like messy experimental Tori, right? And I don't think there's a lot of that on Night of Hunters. So I get that. As a like beginning to end album, it can be a challenge for me for that reason. I get that.
I listen to that album all the time. I've got to be like a top 1% of listeners to Night of Hunters.
Yeah. I love it, but it feels anomalous to the rest of her catalog in a way that I don't think that most of those songs would sit in naturally in like a set list, right?
Does it feel more of that? Like, do you feel the same way about Strange Little Girls or no?
I don't.
You feel like it's like hers?
Strange Little Girls feels like a Tori Amos record. She just happens to be singing other people's songs. But I think musically, production-wise, it better fit with the transition from Venus to Scarlet. Sonically, Strange Little Girls fills all those.
Needs it, yeah.
Yeah, like it makes sense. Next.
Okay. Totally changing gears. Have you gotten physical with someone talking during a show? I don't know if that means have you like beat them up or did you like jerk them off? I don't know.
Oh my god.
Matthew, was it both for you?
Yeah. What?
Oh my god.
Oh, that person's talking. Let me jerk them off if they shut up. If they bust it out, they'll shut their mouths.
Maybe sometimes you got a singer next to you.
Oh,
but
it's been a long time since I've had any beef.
I think what this person means is, have you ever gotten into a fight at a Tori Amos concert?
Wow.
I'm gonna say I've never been in a physical altercation at a Tori Amos concert. No, but I've seen some really crazy things go down, and you know we buy our seats, of course, and we sit in them, and we don't like act crazy. We don't like push people over. We don't knock people out of the way. You know, we've seen a lot of that throughout the years. It's, you know, varying degrees of physical abuse when you get closer to the stage.
It's elder abuse now.
No, it is elder abuse.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been I don't know that I've seen anybody get physical with somebody else over like speaking. But I will say this, I might have told this story in the podcast before, I can't remember. But in 2003, we had front row because Joel upgraded us.
Oh, Lord.
The second night of Radio City, my sister was with us. And I had warned her when the main set ends, you have to get up and just go against the stage because people are lurking. And this was really bad for a few years.
Monica's tiny.
My sister's 4 foot.
Tiny.
She's barely 4
thing.
foot 11. She's tiny.
Yeah.
There was a bad habit of people leaping in front of people in the front row or early rows and pushing you out. So suddenly you were at your seat, and then suddenly you were just pulled back. And so I warned her, and the encore started, and this woman came up behind her, and I don't know if she just bumped into her or if she did have the intentions of cutting in front of her, but my sister pretty much twisted this woman's arm and shoved her back into the crowd.
I think it was an accident. That woman looked terrified. I've never seen her.
I think it might have been an accident, but my sister, we coached her and kind of warned her to such a degree that she really manhandled this woman.
We're sorry if that was you and it was an accident. If it wasn't an accident, it's different.
If you're still suffering from that 22 years later, sorry. Ooh. But no, I don't think so. I don't think I've never had an altercation or an argument with anybody. I mean, no. Right?
I don't know. It's just been so many shows.
What's Matthew gonna say?
I mean, I've seen people get stepped on. I've seen people get pushed. I've been nudged in the kidneys a little bit, and I'm surprised I haven't gotten into a fight at a Tori Amos show. But you can't very well be acting like some sort of fool when Tori Amos is directly in front of you, trying to play a show either. This isn't music where we're going to start a fucking mosh pit.
I would prefer we not. Maybe some people are into the mosh vibe, and that's part of it. I don't like all that. And also I'm very short, so I'm very sensitive to the goings on of the rush. It scares me. I'm very short, and so, but I don't.
It scares her, but she's also small and has the ability to climb over things very quickly.
I'm one of the ones who
that's true
would climb over a chair. Okay, just kidding. Actually, I probably have.
It's a long
You just did in fucking Arizona.
Did I?
Or maybe New Mexico. Yes.
No, I didn't.
You left me in the dust.
Oh my god.
You were like, fuck you. Yeah. And it was
I wearing a dress? Oh my god.
I don't remember, but it was like a monkey climbing a tree in a jungle.
Okay. I'm going to take a Klonopin next time. Don't let me act like that. I'm so sorry. If you've been injured by me, I'm so sorry.
Well,
I feel awful. That's
will say
I'm a grown woman. I'm a mother.
I will say there was one time when
No.
I'm not going to get specific. Kristen was basically being in the rush. We were third row center at Philly 09, and in the rush to the stage, Kristen basically got lifted in the air over a crowd and was screaming, Joey, and I had to reach and grab her and pull her over a herd of people who basically just tossed her like a rag doll up in the air. She was like an inflatable beach ball that you slap around, She was just kind of bopping.
I'm so scared.
She was screaming for me. I literally had to grab her and hold her in my bosom because she was gonna be taken away by the wave.
They were going towards the stage, though. I should have let them take
crazy.
me.
I know you would have ended up right beneath the piano. You would have just glided on.
At what cost? So we've seen some shit. We've seen some we've been on the battleground for many years, and when those things happen, it's never good. No one feels good about it. I've seen a lot of people screaming at each other, yelling at each other. Just, it's too crazy. Just fucking sit in your seat and watch the show. That's my advice. Don't fight people. Don't be an asshole.
I think it's gonna be okay.
In the white shirt for two seconds.
Do you fucking mind?
I'm sorry. The person who's been most aggressive at Tori Amos concerts is Tori Amos herself.
Shit.
Let's be frank here. All right?
That's right.
Especially in 1999.
Insert clip of
nobody
lady
was
in the
yelling
white shirt.
And eat my pussy, and nobody was yelling at people more than Tori Amos was, okay?
Well, I mean, there is that super cut on YouTube of Tori doing the best aggressive things.
We'll link it.
Yeah, we'll link it. And I will say, from the video that we've seen from this last tour in Woodinville on the closing night,
y'all, what did y'all do? We weren't there, but y'all did.
There were some problems in the crowd.
Y'all,
the Woodinville massacre.
Didn't handle it.
Really talking about the Woodinville. Listen, if anybody has any information on what the fuck went down in Woodinville,
text us, give us audio messages.
We will have you on as a guest.
Curious.
We'll have you on as a guest to talk about it because
if you were in the first 3 rows, we need to know more.
What happened? And if you know, you know.
And, we're just sort of like cobbling together information like from Blair Witch like tapes.
Exactly.
Like we don't have a clear picture and we've got a lot that's left to the imagination. And for us, that's a really scary place.
Also, there was a lot of wine. It was a winery. So I don't know. Maybe we're all just quenched.
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway, so moving on.
How many more questions do we have for Matthew?
We have many questions. I'm gonna go. Let's give shorter answers.
Okay.
So
right.
This one's easy. What song would you give an arm to hear live?
An arm.
That's fun.
An arm. I mean, okay. So just give me your number 1, number 2 songs that you're just like, I need to hear this fucking song on this next tour. Or it can be one you've heard.
The Wrong Band, as I've said.
Yes.
I want that shit. I want it bad. And I would love to hear... What is something else that I would love to hear? There are many things I want to hear. I would say Wrong Band, and I would like The Return of Dragon, personally.
I think we can make The Return of Dragon happen.
I think so, too.
I think we can
Did you guys not see our social media today? We're already starting the campaign.
That's what I'm saying. I think let's go for it. If we stagger our shows, we can work on her. We know she likes that.
Okay.
We're here to help.
Here to help. What would I give an arm to hear? I mean, I really do want to hear her cover Storms by Fleetwood Mac, which she's never covered.
I love the way you talk about Storms on that episode. So good.
I love that song. I would love it. Okay. Also, I would give an arm to have been at a show to see her do Black by Pearl Jam, which is one of my favorite covers. And I don't necessarily need her to like play it again, but I wished I would have been there.
Yeah.
And then just...
That would have been a good question. What do we wish we were at? What show do we wish we were at? That would be going.
That's going to be my second part because I don't know what my other one is. That's how I'm going to answer.
That's good.
I am holding out for a full version of Reindeer King, which
poor thing. Yeah.
I've never heard it in full. I've heard it as the bridge.
I cannot believe that you were at shows where she didn't do it. That's so crazy to me.
Well, as you guys know, I had tickets to the shows in LA when she did 3 nights in LA, and after the first night, I wasn't able to go back. And those are some big time regrets for those shows.
Sure.
And I would have been able to see Reindeer King. It would have been great.
Maddie, we can work on that. We can make that happen for you.
I think
it's coming back. I don't think she's...
hope that everybody helps me manifest that one. That's what I'd really like to hear.
I don't think she's done with that. I think that one, like Bang, is relevant to her right now. And I think it was telling that she integrated it into Bouncing Off Clouds just a little bit on the last tour. Like, to me, that says that it's not a song that she's sending off into obscurity. I think it's one that's changing in meaning for her, and we'll be back.
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. That's a good one.
I would love it in full with a band, personally.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. All right. Do you think there will ever be a musical with Tori songs, or maybe a musical of Little Earthquakes?
I do think there'll be a Tori musical at some point. I don't think it'll be Little Earthquake specific, but I think they'll...
Do you have like insider info on that? I've never thought about it.
No, it's just a feeling. Yeah. Okay. It's just a gut.
I think there may be, and I don't know that Tori will necessarily be at the helm of it.
I don't think she'll be involved. I think she'll give her blessing, but I think it'll be sort of out of her hands, I think. That's my gut. Sort of like the way Jagged Little Pill, the Alanis Morissette.
Although the Tina Turner musical.
Tina Turner, though, I do think that I do wonder if Tori will be a character in it, or if it'll just be her music in another story, you know?
Who are other contemporaries of Tori who, like, other than Alanis?
Bjork.
What was her?
There's a Bjork musical?
I thought you were asking who her contemporaries.
No, she knows that. She's not that high.
Well, no, I meant had a Broadway show, a musical
with their music.
Yeah,
I think that Alanis is kind of the only one from that period. I think, but Michael R. Jackson's Strange Loop is heavily influenced by Tori, but mostly by Liz Phair, and uses Liz Phair's song lyrics in there. And so I kind of, and he loves Tori. I'm kind of holding out for him to do something with her music at some point. You know, he met her backstage in Brooklyn 2022, sang Here in My Head for him. I don't know. I have a feeling if anybody's cooking up something with her music, it might be him. But it's not based on anything but my own sort of gut. I think we'll get something like that at some point. Yeah.
I'm glad I pressed for more detail because, like, I don't know about that theater world, you know?
No, it's hard. It's yeah.
I think in the future you could maybe expect to see Tori Amos as a character in other things, other popular entertainments. Maybe she'll be a character in somebody's screenplay.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Holding out for a hero, Maddie.
How did you get the idea to do your podcast?
You all answer that. I think you all decided we were doing it, and then one day we're like, show up to record, and I was like, okay.
Did we do that?
I feel like
you two were when we lived together.
No, you two were more behind the concept of it. I think we all wanted to make one, but I think that I feel like I didn't know the concept until we were basically ready to record. I had to make you guys explain it to me.
Well, so
the first season anyway, the first season, Messing with the Master.
A little different.
I think the podcast has some sort of like long tentacles. So I think one of the pieces of the origin story is my fanatic love of Tori Amos playlists and always foisting it on these two, and now I make them make playlists, which is really fun. And Joey, I don't know if you remember this, but in 2014, when we were writing about Unrepentant Geraldines and collaborating on a lot of work, we actually started like doing some video or some audio commentary that we weren't really sure what to do with it. There weren't really a ton of podcasts at the time, so it wasn't like something somebody would do. But looking back now, we actually were kind of doing that then.
Just cute.
You know, wanting to talk about the album that we had just heard. And I don't know, I think, you know, we also have discussed how the three of us are like basically bringing our group chat to life for everybody who's listening. And part of the allure of the podcast for me has been having a like structured time to sit down and talk with two of my oldest friends about the thing that we like the most. So, and the thing that we want to like share our love of with the world. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like our special time together as well. So that's, I think, how the podcast got started and has been successful.
One thing that at the beginning of the podcast I didn't think of, but now somebody recently said like, oh, it's like having Tori friends or whatever, you know, hanging out with my Tori friends. And we've been so lucky to have lived in the same cities together, to have lived together. All of us have, you know, and so I forget that not everybody else has their crew so physically close to, even though we're, you know, ocean to Gulf to ocean right now. But
it's true. It's true. And also,
it's fun to give that, you know?
Yeah, because it's a really, really specific kind of connection. Like we are simpatico on Tori in the most serious and the goofiest of ways. That it's a very like nuanced, like fine juxtaposition of the way in which we know and think about her and talk about her. And, you know, we are, I'm sure it's come across in the podcast, but we are very silly about her and her music in the most loving way, always reverent and like, you know, always admiring of, but our conversations are both like, they run like the gamut from like being like really like dumb, like just truly stupid, and like also really serious about how much we care about the music and know about the music and think about the music, right? So it's really rare to find even one other person in your life who understands that, and to have two, and to be able to like do this with each other in a structured way, and then to share it with you all is like a real gift. And so we feel very, if there were 3 of you listening rather than 3,000, like we'd still want to do it, you know?
Totes.
But the numbers do motivate us.
Yes. So keep
and
subscribing, keep listening. Yeah. Up above.
Smash that subscribe button, baby.
Yes. You're right.
Besides Raspberry Swirl, what do y'all think the gayest Tori song is? Gay.
Just a quick plug for our Tori Amos Turn Me Gay Under the Pink episode, which I love and is like somehow one of our lowest rated or lowest viewed. Gayest song. Good question. Maddie, do you have one off the top of your head?
Merman.
Sure.
Okay.
Actually,
maybe.
Yeah.
Is it though? It was recorded before the death of Matthew Shepard, so I don't know. I think it changed context as a result of his death. But I don't know if it's gay. I think it's just about Mark. But I think the context changed.
Well,
sorry
it's
to
about
dispel.
Matthew Shepard. It's about Matthew Shepard. We're moving on. That's the gayest song. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like Secret Spell's pretty gay.
Glory of the 80s is a little gay.
It is, but gay in like a less than zero kind of way. Secret Spell is gay in like
it's gay.
It's like
if
gay.
You will.
It's like, it's like a real fruity song. That's my answer, I think, for now.
I mean,
Matthew?
What did you say one?
No.
He didn't say it.
I think Leather.
Yeah.
Leather's pretty gay.
That fat cigar.
Remember the show Oz when B.D. Wong played the priest, and there's the musical episode where he does leather and he licks the Bible? It's so good.
Yes.
So good.
I mean, I just think Professional Widow, because girls aren't going to say peace, love, and a hard cock, I mean, we do, but when we're, playing our favorite gay male, we only talk like that then.
I also think the original studio version of Sugar is pretty gay.
Oh, yeah.
It is those twinkly little synths and like her performance, that sort of like sensual like sigh that she has, that like at the end. It's like real like it just feels like you're watching like Red Shoe Diaries or something. It's like so specific in its erotica. And then on the flip, I think that
Joey's got a lot of them.
The band version of it is pretty gay too in a different way,
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say maybe Police Me. Kind of gay.
Yeah, I think I Normally Attracted to Sin has a real like gay leather vibe.
Yeah. What about Mrs. Jesus? Is a little gay.
It's a little fruity. Yeah,
I like
sure.
that one.
That's a fruity
lot.
part of the song.
I like that. Okay.
We can. I think. I think Tori's pretty gay. Yeah, so that's
great.
Yeah.
A little fruity. All right, and that's fine. Gay is good.
I love her so.
Great, yeah.
We're gonna bust out a few more of these.
Okay.
Do you think Tori's music is too damn sensible these days? What happened to batshit crazy T?
Well,
who wants to start?
I still think she's batshit. I think she's just, she's evolved. But wait, I still think that there's plenty that surprises me and makes me feel things. Maybe that's to me batshit. It that's a mechanism to push and to feel things. But I just want to feel things. You know what I mean? Am I getting too circular about it?
No, I think what this person is maybe suggesting is
rage.
The records.
Rage Tori.
Yeah. This person
Angry
maybe
Tori.
Feels like maybe Tori's been a little calm, or Tori's been a little. I don't know what.
Maybe. Okay. When is the last time we had real ragey angry Tori on a studio album? I don't know. I feel like a quiet quality in my own life that I relate to and I appreciate. A lot of Lexapro for me. I mean, I'm just being real.
I think if Tori was doing angry Tori or rage Tori on every album, it wouldn't. I don't know if that would be authentic or satisfying or what, or the sort of thing that everybody's looking for. This is a woman who has gone through her late 20s, through her now early to mid 60s in the public eye. And you do so many different evolutions personally during that time and in your work. And I don't know. I think to expect somebody to retain the exact same qualities that they had during a specific era or period of time is a little unfair. And, the body changes, the voice changes, the brain changes, all of it changes, and we don't stay the same. So I don't think about it in that way, and that her music is so different now. I mean, to me, I see the evolution pretty clearly, and I like that place that she's gone, and I've loved the places that she's gone, prior to her contemporary work, but I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah. And then also I do feel like there's a lot of kind of angry Tori at shows. Like it gets channeled. So I don't feel like we're not experiencing that at times as well. It's just not like the whole color. It's not like the whole color of what we're seeing. So I do feel like it still does come out. But I think the evolution thing is real. Like when you think about like a song like the "Do You Know" from Here in My Head, when she's screaming "Do you know," and then there's the growl, and then over time it turns into more of the moan, and it's like a lot. It's still just as painful, but a little. It's just different. And I think that's where she is, and I'm cool with that. But I still see the complexities in those moments.
I co-sign what you both just said. I also, it's funny. I was watching, I don't know when it was from. It came up on TikTok, and it was a 96 performance of Donut Song. She was on a TV show. Kaiten was playing guitar, and I was watching it and waiting for "You Told Me Last Night You Were a Son Now" with your very own devoted satellite. Happy for you, and I'm sure that I hate you. 2 sons too many Abel fires. I'm watching it, and in my memory, she never didn't shout the "too many Abel fires, hey," or snarl during "Sure I Hate You," or "Sure That I Hate You." But this performance, which was so arresting and so beautiful, she basically softly whispered the entire thing. And it was sensual and commanding, and I felt the emotion, but she wasn't yelling. And I think we sort of have this sort of, what is it? Is it the Streisand effect? When you think that you've seen something or like heard something because everybody says, and everybody sort of agrees. Am I getting it right? There's that one sort of like shared like phenomenon of like a shared like, not like hallucination, but like a belief of something.
Yeah.
That something is always like that, right? And so for the version for Tori is like, we think it's always like this, but it's really not true. And Here in My Head is a great example because largely considered one of the greatest bootlegs of all time, the final show of 96, Dewdrop in Boulder, she does Here in My Head. She does not shout, "Do you know what I'm doing to me?" She whispers, take me.
I love that one.
And it's like this, like she doesn't scream it. So this is all to say that I think we put too much value in the idea of an angry Tori and thinking that anger or rage or aggression or passion has to come in just one form, because she's done that. She's performed songs in this way, and then she's performed songs in other ways. And so I think that I'm with you that I think that the live version of herself, where all Tories in all albums and all eras, for the most part, not everything can be represented in one show, but the different brains, the different bodies that she has lived in come out to play together through the lens and through the vessel of the current woman on stage. I think that we get like an evolved version of whatever she is at the moment. But I think there's just this like thought that she always did something one way and she doesn't do it the same way, but it's really not true. In truth, she always varied the way she did everything from 92 to now. So I just feel like there's a misremembering collectively of like, unless you're thinking about like 7 where she's performing as dolls and then every Pip is going to be angry, and vile and vulgar and nasty, and every Santa is going to be sexual and flirty, and every Clyde is going to be depressive with her hair in her face, and every you know what I'm saying? Like there's like this like unless there's like a prescribed version of it, in general, she has always changed it up so much that I think people are just sort of, they're holding on to moments, but nothing definitive. It's always been fluid, I think.
Well, this person said sensible, so maybe they didn't even mean rage Tori. But like,
But sensible, you say a sensible shoe, you're talking about somebody wearing like orthopedics. Like,
right.
It's not really a compliment, you know? So it's
fair. I don't think Tori Amos is sensible. Okay.
No, I don't think so either. I think she's nonsense.
All right, this is a funny one. If you've ever had a falling out over Tori Amos in the fandom, what was it about? I'm gonna jump in because
please do, please.
I'm gonna with very sort of like limited interactions with the fandom. So this podcast is probably the most involved with the fandom that I've ever been, or I've been in a really, really long time. I don't like go online and pick fights with people about Tori Amos, like, you know, we may have done in the late 90s or what have you. Yeah. Some of us, but you know, we all have really busy lives. I will say there's one instance that I can think of, and I'll of course keep everybody anonymous, but I had somebody, I wouldn't say a friend, just somebody who I knew and who was sort of like watching what I was doing online when I was working with Tori on Flickr, say something really disparaging about the song. And I took it really personally. That was a really personal project. It was the realization of a dream for me to be working with Tori Amos and to be doing it on a project that was so important and so meaningful. And to have somebody dismiss the work that was being done, the song that was being put out, and sort of like in a really nasty way to rip it to shreds, just really for me irked me really bad. So that's one instance I can think of where I've really been like put off by something another fan has said. Typically, I don't really engage and I don't really care.
I've had friends, I guess, there's been people in the fan community that I was closer with or was, you know, actively friends with, and maybe I'm not now, but I don't think there's like any ill will. Like, I think if everybody saw each other, they would say hi or whatever. But as the title of the show goes, I'm pretty introverted, so I freak out if approached at a Tori Amos show. So I'm really in and out.
Same with me. I mean, I think probably there was a period where there were some people in maybe some more like well-known fixtures in the Tori fan community that I was friendly with, that I had a lot of like interaction with online through AIM and things like that, you know, when you were sort of interacting with people in that way, who were just increasingly negative about everything, like kind of honestly like post Venus. Like it goes back that deep, like Strange Little Girls and Scarlet and, you know, Beekeeper, especially American Doll Posse, where there was just like one person in particular who just kind of like couldn't believe that I or like other people could enjoy those records, and just felt very, very like, you know, no, these suck, they're terrible, she's lost it, she lost her touch, this is not good music. And like just eventually, you know, and me sort of, you know, being much younger, of course, but also feeling like both an obligation to like defend the music, but also to like defend myself for enjoying the music, and like maybe sometimes disingenuously conceding points to them that I actually didn't believe. So I think for me, it was more so like letting go of sort of toxic people who seemed to get off on criticizing her every move after a certain period in her career, but still showed up at tours and were still there. It's like,
why are you there? Yeah.
Right. And they would show up all the time. This particular person would just show up, and to their credit, they stopped showing up so much. And I think I've not seen them at shows 15 years, but it went on for a long time. They were just always there. It's like, why did you come? Mm-hmm. You complain about the set list, you complain about the solo songs, you complain about what she wore, you complain about like
all of it,
you know, all of it. And so it's just like, I don't know what you're here for. But I also know that a lot of these people would also make it their point to, this person in particular, make it a point to be at meet and greets all the time and have these interactions with her and wait around for her. And you are shitting on her online, at forums, in chat rooms, and yet you're fucking there and you're showing up. And so for me, I think that is probably the most like tension, but even still, it was more about like me within myself, like just deciding like I can't interact with this person anymore because what I'm doing is I'm trying to like validate their shitty opinions while still defending my own desire to like my choice to enjoy this music, right?
Yeah.
So so a little vague about that, I guess, but that's the kind of person that I think I had the, falling out over. Sounds pretty similar for the three of us.
Yeah,
sure. To that degree, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my advice is just don't get deeply involved with any of it. I mean, we're here to celebrate and like kiki about Tori and her work because we love it. And, do we love it all? Maybe not all of it. Do we love everybody who listens to it? Maybe not all of them. But we are sort of like a niche group that we should be sort of sticking together and supporting the person that we really like listening to. I know that's an old-fashioned thing. Joey, you're right. I mean, like there is like more than any other. I mean, I guess I don't participate in fandom and for other people, but I don't know that other fandoms are like nitpicking every minutia, every detail of the person that's at the center of their fandom. I've always found that really, really odd, and I don't understand the drive to do it. And like it's not like it's like one album and then they've moved on. These are people who say the same thing for album cycle after album cycle, and it's
decades,
it's really
literally
odd.
Decades now. We're talking 20 years.
It's I guess for some people it's harder to move on, and for me, if I don't connect with something, and I'm saying this like even with certain friendships in life, right? You have to, if you're not being nourished by them, if you're not getting everything you need out of them, maybe it's time to move on.
It's time to wave goodbye.
To turn the page.
Time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I have two more questions that I really want to get through. This one, I'll go ahead and give a shout out. This is from our friend Lola J, who we love.
Oh, Lola.
LJ?
What's the hottest take on Tori that you agree with and disagree with?
God, I wish I had time to prepare for that one.
Yeah, the hottest.
Maddie, you have to answer first because you.
I'll answer.
Yeah, you had some time.
I spent a little time with it. This one actually came in today, so.
Okay.
I mean, I think Tori gets better and better, and that's sort of the hot take for me that I really agree with. I think like the work of a filmmaker, like the work of a great auteur, I'm always finding something interesting with every album cycle, and I think that may be unique position and a unique take in the Tori world right now. But the thing that I agree with is that she gets better and better, and disagree with, I'm going to take it to a superficial place. I know we're here to talk about the music, but I think there's a lot of hubbub about what Tori wears and, the look of Tori. And I'm here for all of it. I always have been. I think Tori is so singular with her music, and she's also created an image that's completely singular. It's Tori. The Tori look. So I disagree with a lot of people who don't love the high fashion stuff. I love it. I think it's great. I love being around it. I love seeing it. And, we will soon be talking about fashion on an upcoming episode. So I'll save that whole discussion for another time. But I disagree that, Tori is some sort of fashion pariah. I think she's great. I love her style.
That's good, Matthew.
Do you have yours, Joey?
I don't, actually.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Yeah. Hot takes about Tori. I think I need another moment to think about it. Go ahead.
I know what I don't agree, or what was it, a hot take agree and a hot take disagree?
What's the hottest take on Tori that you agree with and disagree with?
Okay, so my disagree is Tori's own hot take, which is if it's too loud, turn it up. Please do not fucking turn it up if it's too loud. No, ma'am. And then the agree. You
can't really think that if we're trying to sell a sticker that says the opposite message.
Well, she believes we can agree to disagree. Hot take. I do think that her love of lip gloss is completely justified.
Like that.
A good lip gloss boost. Yeah, it's a good little media hook, but it's also pretty awesome.
My hottest take that I disagree with is that Mark/Mac Aladdin is not a valuable contributor to her music. I think he very much is.
I think so.
And anybody who thinks that it is imposed on her production is incorrect. Matthew knows this firsthand. She is calling the shots. She is doing what she wants. He is giving her what she wants. He's a very, very talented musician. And I think it's especially, I've talked about Native Invader and how much I love the bulk of the production on there. And the fact that it's just the two of them doing it is wild to me. Geraldine's, you can hear sort of some artificial stuff in there, and they're sort of figuring out what to do. There was Matthew, I think when you first heard Native Invader, you assumed that she had Matt Chamberlain and a full band on it. There was no reason not to think so. There was no reason not to think so. So I feel like his contributions are exactly what she wants them to be. And I think with each successive album since he was first sort of introduced and more prominent on her albums, he continues to sort of become part of the sound in a way that feels more integrated and seamless. And again, going back to this idea that like it has to be one way, it's like people still miss and bitch about Steve Caton not being on albums, but he hasn't been on an album since 1999. You know what I mean? Like that's a long time ago. So at this point, the majority of her records do not sort of have that sound, right? Let's see. And then the hot take that I do agree with, I do agree that her first three albums are a kind of holy trinity of perfection. And though I also think that Choir Girl fits in with that, I think that those who view those first three as like something almost like unimpeachable, I think are right. I think it's correct. I think that is like a pop culture myth I can get behind, that those first three records are sheer genius.
I like that one.
All right, final question. Who is Tori's favorite?
Me.
Not me. I think I upset her last time. No, she told Matthew.
No, the last bad encounter was mine.
That's right. She told Matthew in text that I rock. So I'm gonna hold on to that. I mean, this must have been a Matthew plant. This question
was definitely. It was not. It was not. I swear to you.
There's only one answer for that.
I swear to you, it wasn't a plan.
She only knows one of us intimately.
She only knows one of us. The rest, the other of us are plus two on the
was Matt, and then she sees us, and she's like, "These two are always with him." That's basically what it is. Those two are always with him.
Baby.
Yeah.
Plus two, but make it sexy.
I would like to say this, though. I would like to say this. Matt is sort of in his own category, but I will say, as somebody who has seen Tori interact with Kristen since 2003, like watched you in meet and greets,
what is happening?
She always just seems so touched by you. I think maybe because she likes somebody who's a little smaller than her. Like
I was gonna say it's because
she's a tiny gal, short. And so you're smaller, and there's just always been something very like, I think that even if she might not necessarily remember like your name, she knows your face, and you have this good rapport with her for the past 20 plus years. And when she sees you, she sort of like cuddles you and seems very, very touched by you and very charmed. And it's always a very sweet interaction. So I will say, in a crowd of meet and greet people, I think I'm biased, but I think you're her favorite in that group always.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Matt.
All I'll say is that we were next to and in front of Tori in that backstage picture in Austin, and Matt was off to the side. But then forensic viewing showed
they were holding hands.
Tori and Matt fucking clutching hands behind us tightly. And I was like, motherfucker. Like,
that made me feel real small.
Me too. I was like, I'm right up next to her. You're in front of her. We're so happy. They're fucking holding hands behind us.
Fucking bullshit.
That wasn't me either. She of
know.
Course grabbed my hand. We do a lot of that.
You would never grab the hand that feeds us all by being rough with it. She reached and you accepted. You were limp-wristed while she.
Honestly, I didn't remember it until I saw the picture. you go kind of
took a
out of
minute.
body in those moments.
Yeah.
I think Kristen spotted it and was like, wait a second, look at this reflection in the mirror.
I do tend to zoom in on the photos, just to see what else is.
When you post this on Instagram, Matthew, you're going to have to zoom in on the hands.
I've already got that up. It's somewhere up there already.
Yeah.
All right,
this was a lot of fun. We should do this again in a few months.
Thank you all for sending in your questions. We didn't get to everybody's, so apologies for that, but we tried to get to the ones that we could answer the best. If you're dying for an answer to your question that we didn't get to, just DM us and we'll try to give you some sort of answer that way or in the comments.
Love you guys. This was
Love you
fun.
too. This was a lot of fun. I hope people are into it.
Me too.
They will be.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and Instagram. Introverted but willing to shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure that there's lots of merch there.
I don't think it's introverted but willing to shop anymore.
What is it now?
I did.
It's just on the website.
You're both right. It is, though. But I know why you said that, Maddie, because you were with me on the journey.
Yes.
And the journey's over. I fixed the journey, but...
Got it.
We're back
confused.
To it. I know.
I'm confused. I'm not high.
But
yeah, having my own voice for Pele moment with the merch shoppy.
Go fund us with the merch so we can meet you on tour, everybody.
Yeah, with our pop-up.
Right.
Our escape room.
RV
pop-up.
with the escape room in the back.
Yo, I might do it. Okay.
See
you here next time. Bye.
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 Ask Tori an outrageous question.
When are we all going to be able to meet you face to face?
Wondering if you will come to Turkey for a concert.
Tori, can I cook you dinner?
Stay tuned to see if yours made the cut.
What color are your underwear? That's not a good question.
TV Jeff. Tosh has her own taste in music. It ranges from the Wheels and Bus Go Round and Round tapes to, yes, we had a Britney Spears tape in the car, and she just sings She's So Lucky in her baby seat. And then you can take her to Marvin Gaye, and she's right there with you. She loves Matty the drummer, and she really hunkers down when he starts his drums. I think that's her favorite part of the show. Which one I would give up? Lip gloss is not an option. So it's between wine and high heel shoes, and depending on the day, either one I would give up, but I could not give up lip gloss. I would die. No, because there's no point in having high heel shoes if you don't have lip gloss because your lips are dry. If you have wet lips, you can have bare feet, that's fine. If you have wine and dry lips, that's awful. Cellophane 808. If I had to be a leg, what shoe would I be in? Well, everybody, it's a bit boring right now, but everybody loves this Louboutin shoe, which is kind of cute. I mean, it's cute. But if I were a leg, I wouldn't want to be in that shoe for oh so long because my leg would hurt. But then a go-go boot is really important to a leg because what if it's chilly outside? So that's my answer, cellophane. Holly from Tennessee, what do I sing in the shower? God, it could be anything from an old song that I remember on the radio, Dionne Warwick, Raindrops Keep Falling. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, I don't usually do Led Zeppelin in the shower. I don't know why. Usually more melodic for some reason.